OMG! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Beyblade Geeks video. It's another month, so that means another Beyblade product. But this time we have a Nintendo Switch Beyblade game. Say what?
Yes, sir. A lot of you guys are probably really excited for this release, but to be honest, we're a little bit torn. We'll tell you guys more about that later. If you yourself want the physical version that comes with the Bey, then this is the video for you.
Yep, so the publisher here is FuRyu, and they also published the Beyblade Burst game, so I think the quality of the game is going to be quite similar. This is for Nintendo Switch, but you can also get it on Steam as well if you want to buy the digital version. So we want the set that actually comes with the exclusive Bey right here. So this is kind of like what we're here for. That Knife Shinobi Bey. So it's painted in a blue colorway. So previously Hasbro actually already released this Bey in the Hasbro land, but it hasn't been released in Japan before. So for Japanese bladers, this is actually the first time they'll be able to collect Knife Shinobi. But either way, this is an exclusive colorway with a blue painted metal. So that's the cool thing about this. You won't be able to get this Bey anywhere else. And it's also the Bey that the main character in this game is going to be using. The proper pronunciation for this game is Beyblade X XONE, so not Beyblade X or Beyblade X XONE, or like Beyblade X or something. So Beyblade X XONE is the name. Like you guys know as gamers, if you get a game that has a special box like this, not just the regular plastic casing, like you know, you gotta collect it. So being the Beyblade Geeks, of course we had to get the Bey as well, so we're here for that.
Yes, sir.
Taking a look at the back of the box, our game here did come with the digital code, so I hid it so you guys can't steal my code. But yeah, you would be able to redeem a glitter version of Knife Shinobi, and it also comes with some exclusive stickers if you want to customize your Bey. So we have this sheet, but if you just buy it, just game itself, if you don't get that special code, and from the back here, you see more graphics of the game.
Yep, and there's our main characters there, Team Persona. There's an online component to this game, but it is a one-player game. And this physical copy that comes with the Bey is in Japanese only. So might be a bit of a struggle for you guys that are trying to get through the game if you don't know Japanese. Definitely something to consider if you guys want this physical copy. If you're here mainly for the Bey, not a big deal. But yeah, if you want to play the game as well, then might be a bit tough.
Can't ruin our box.
Word.
Gotta keep that fresh for the collection.
Yeah, these guys did a good job on the packaging.
Okay, there we go. Got our beautiful Bey. Oh my god, first impressions. Looking so nice. We got the Hasbro version here as well, so we'll compare with that one later. Comes with a 460 ratchet and a LF bit.
That color combo though.
Okay, gotta look into this one afterwards. And of course, we have the Nintendo Switch game. Gotta open that one up.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but for us anyways, as gamers, personally, I like to have the physical copies instead of the digital ones, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's always nice to have the physical copy just for collector's purposes. Got the whole game box.
Sick.
Looking nice. Some art there. There's Switch game. Curious to know, are you guys getting this in the digital version from the eShop or the physical version with the Bey? Or if you just want to get it on PC, you can get it on Steam. Curious to know what you guys' preference are. Because I know it's pretty hard to import this from Japan. So I brought out the Knife Shinobi Bey from Hasbro. I know you guys want to know the like weight difference. I know I don't want to know.
31.08 grams.
Pretty light, hey?
Yep.
I don't expect it to be all that different, to be honest, with the Japanese version. So Shinobi knife.
Yep, nothing crazy. 31.18.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, I would say. But it looks cooler. Honestly, I'm surprised that the exclusive Bey that they give us is a Rhino horn clone, because you guys know Knife Shinobi or Shinobi knife is just modeled after our Rhino horn. So it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you are on this part of the world like we are, then you're not missing out on much. If you have the Hasbro version, would have been so much better if we got something new.
They totally could have given us something like, you know, Aero Pegasus or something. But yeah, this is the physical Bey that you get from this set. The only way to get this Bey in this colorway. All right, since we got the physical copy, this is the Japanese version. We might as well show it to you on our Switch. Paid $100 for this, right? Gotta at least launch it and
for real.
Yeah, show you guys the gameplay. We will show you more on the Steam version since we actually have English gameplay on there.
Oh, there we go. Beyblade X XONE. All right.
So the game starts off. You can choose your character, either guy or girl, and then you can choose your name. OMG. BBG.
Nice, nice.
So everything is in Japanese if you get this imported version. But this is the only way to get the Shinobi knife bay. Like, what a dilemma, hey?
Yeah, for real. Like, how hard could it have been to put in the English version into a physical copy? Like, it already exists, right? It couldn't have been that much more work. And then you'd be able to market it towards the international market. So, such a missed opportunity for sure.
You know, just double checking. Again, in the settings, you can change the text speed, you can change the music, but there is no language selection. Like, I've already updated to 1.03, and yeah, the physical copy has no English version. You have to get it from the eShop and download the digital copy if you want the English version, which means you would be stuck without the Shinobi knife bay. Alrighty, switching gears here, we're actually going to jump into the Steam version of the game since there's actually English and we can screen record a bit better.
Yeah, so we just spent some time exploring and, you know, we'll cut up the footage and tell you guys our opinion of the game and everything. Hopefully this is useful for you guys that are considering getting the game. We're more here for the bay, but obviously the game is a big part of it and it's nice to do some gaming once in a while too.
We can summarize it by what we like and what we don't like. So you do start off the game with the Shinobi knife bay, so it's very accurate to the physical bay that you're gonna get from the set. I would say, like, okay, what I like, the gameplay is pretty good. Like the strategicness of being able to like pick your parts, go into battle, and the goal is you're trying to reach the top of the X tower, right? So the story is also aligned with that. They have this like battle phases that switches around, so you're either playing with the bays, like them spinning in the stadium, or you're picking your moves and doing counters and choosing like, you know, which attack or defense or stamina types you're gonna, like moves you're gonna kick off, and that is pretty entertaining, I would say. The animation is pretty good. The attacks are pretty cool too, the animation of them, depending on the bay. There are a lot of bay parts that you can get from unblocking it. We spent like 2 hours in the game and we only reached up to 15th level in the X Tower, and we only had a couple of bays. So I can imagine if you're playing it a lot and you're like unlocking all the quests, then you can definitely unlock way more.
Yeah, and of course we like that the characters from the anime are in here in the game. It's nice being able to actually interact with these main characters that we've been watching in the anime or reading about in the manga. It's a different way to enjoy your time like with those characters in the story. Of course, you can battle with your friends online, and that's like a huge part of the game, right? Nowadays, without an online feature, it would be like a totally dead game. So that is obviously nice. And you guys can actually expect to see some DLCs too. Like, which game doesn't have DLCs nowadays? But it's nice to know that this game isn't just gonna die shortly after you buy it. It will continue to expand.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine like, you know, in a year from now, 2 years from now, season 2 or season 3, season 4, you know, the game, you don't have to like just throw it away and buy a new one. The DLC, hopefully they're gonna be good. And it kind of just feels like Takara Tomi's using the Switch game as their avenue of getting people engaged with like Beyblade X in the digital world, because like Hasbro's pretty much doing the same thing, but they do it on the Beyblade X app instead, right? Because Takara Tomy in the Japanese Asian region, their app is more of like a Beyblade X. So yeah, I think in the future you're probably gonna see like in Japan them releasing like codes that you can get like different skins and stuff like that. So similar idea. And then on to what we don't like. For me, I feel like, okay, this is the big one, is like the quality of the game is not the highest ever. Like, don't expect it's a AAA game or something like that. You can really tell from the beginning, like I expected, like I was actually surprised. It started the game off, you were like able to walk around the map in that lobby, and I was like, dang, this is cool, it's like open world. But then as you play a little bit further, you realize that if you want to navigate to a different area, like if you go onto the map, it's just a 2D map, and you pick the locations like A, B, C, D, E. Like there's only a couple of locations to pick from, and then it brings you to a bunch of text menus that you have to run through. So you know, like it is an RPG in a way, but I can see where they put the resources into actually like investing into the battles itself, not really like the gameplay storyline, like being able to role play in that sense. Yeah, like it would be cool if like there was different towns to visit or like different stadiums to visit. It just felt like pretty flat, like the images of the map, even in the elevator, the X Tower, like you really can't explore the X Tower in like a grand way. You pretty much have the lobby, you go to the elevator, and then it brings you to a static map. And then you get to pick who you want to battle.
Yeah, bro, like that's kind of my pet peeve with any type of story that has a tower or like a dungeon that has like 100 levels that need to be explored. Usually not enough time and effort is spent to actually explore each of those levels and, you know, show what makes it different. And honestly, that's like the story in the anime for Beyblade X2. Like they just jumped a billion levels and you have no idea what's in between. And that's kind of like carrying over into the game. So yeah, like personally, I'm not a huge fan of that type of story, but I was really hoping that they would be able to do something about it in the anime and in the game. Like, let us explore each level, man. Like, you don't have to make them huge maps, but come on.
Yeah, and as you were talking about that, I actually just thought of another thing. Like, you know how you said that you like the online battle?
Yeah.
Guess what? Like, there's no co-op play at all. You know how like the previous Beyblade games, like, it's nice to be able to like, just like in the physical game, you can be beside each other, you know, have that communication piece. But yeah, this game, there's no co-op. So if you want to battle with somebody, they also have to get their own Switch and get their own Beyblade X XONE game. So that is a negative on my end. But I guess games nowadays, like, don't really have co-op, so I can see why they like cut that out. Okay, another thing is like, it really depends if you're that type of gamer that likes to grind, because in Beyblade X XONE, you are trying to grind onto the top of the X Tower. So there are going to be a lot of repetitive battles. If you don't customize, or if you're just using one strategy, or if you have no motivation to grind, then this is not the game for you. Oh, another thing too is, I remember previous Beyblade Burst games, in the Switch, they had motion control. So this one, they cut that out completely. I feel like, I guess Switch is getting to the end of the stage. Like, not many games even use motion controls now, but I feel like at least they could do something with the accelerometer. But then again, they also released on Steam, so they probably feel like, oh, you can make more money by having it on Steam, but Steam don't have motion control, so they didn't design the game specifically for the Switch.
Yeah, like as fellow gamers, we obviously have very high expectations of like what we want from this game. And to be fair, our expectations are high for the Beyblade X XONE game because we have so much love for this brand and we want to see it have like that AAA status, right? But we got to be realistic. They're putting in all of the effort into the physical products and the tournaments, so they don't got time to put it into the video game. And another thing is like, if we did want it at that level, like that AAA game level, they need to start development of this game like 10 years ago, like at the start of Beyblade Burst or something, right? It just requires so much manpower and resources to make it that type of game. Overall, if you guys are still interested in getting this game, it's definitely worth it. But just don't have your expectations too high in terms of game quality.
Yeah, I guess we'll end our rambling here. I feel like overall the game is pretty sweet. Like, there are so many parts to collect, and they actually have a lot of strategies that, like, if you played the physical Beyblade X game, you'd be like, dang, that makes sense in the game. So it's definitely going to bring a lot more, you know, eyeballs to Beyblade X, vice versa. So yeah, it's a win all around. Alrighty, so that's the end of our unboxing of the Beyblade X game, Beyblade X XONE game. Overall, I feel like we really paid all the money just to get the physical version of Shinobi knife. But at the same time, if I'm spending that much money, do I really want a Shinobi knife or knife Shinobi? You know, like, it's not that great of a bay anyways, but maybe in the long run, we're gonna thank ourselves. And if you really care about the game itself, I feel like you would just get the digital copy because then you can play it in English. It's a shame that they didn't include the English, like even subtitles, into the Japanese version. Like, it's so easy nowadays to put that in a game, so kind of confused on that. I feel like so many other games from Japan, like imported from Japan, would have that option.
Word, like if they just put in that little bit of extra effort to put in those English subtitles or something, this would have been such a better international product. It could attract so many other fans. So yeah, in that sense, it was just so close, so close. Maybe they'll release the Bay separately somewhere else, and then you guys can buy the English version of the game and then combine that together to have a better purchase experience.
We'll see, maybe we'll get the English DLC later on with the physical copy. That way you don't have to get both. But yeah, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and as always,
Geeks out!